Hi guys, it's me again, and welcome to a new little series I'll be doing on how to play Team Fortress 2 as a new player. This first episode is going to be about the options menu since it's very outdated and I think that all players can benefit from tweaking it to their preference. Starting off, I will show you how to get to the options first. You first press escape on your keyboard, which will bring out this main menu, and then you go to options. So there are actually two different option menus in the game. The first one is more general video game options, and the other one is specific options for Team Fortress 2. And in this first options menu, we first have keyboard, which is your keybinds and how you move and what everything does. I have played this game for a long time and the only thing I really would recommend changing is that duck or crouch is switched to shift instead of control, which it normally is on. Shift is a much easier button to press than control, and you will actually be crouching quite a lot in this game, surprisingly enough. Next up is mouse. Here you will also be able to see that if you mouse over any option, you will be able to read what it does. So if there's anything I don't go over and you want to tweak around in the options later, this will explain what each thing does. But on the mouse I would recommend enabling raw input if you're playing on mouse and keyboard, and switching your mouse sensitivity to somewhere you feel comfortable. In audio we have generic volume stuff where you can change the music volume of the game and the game volume. So in video is our first major option we want to change. It is in advanced here, you click that, and then you go to the field of view slider and crank it all the way up to 90. And you will, if you look at the background screen right now, I can see a lot more. I will be going into more detail about that a little bit later, but right now just crank it up to 90 and that is already a vast improvement to what it was before. In voice options you can enable your microphone and set the volume of other people's microphones and your own, or completely disable it if you don't want to have anyone talking it at all. In multiplayer we find the first option that is really customizable to your own tastes, and that is with the crosshair. So the crosshair is this thing I have in the middle of my screen that I aim with. So you will be able to see that if I aim for this bell here, I will always hit it if I put my crosshair on it and shoot. Which of course means that you want to have a crosshair that you can see against all surfaces. This one isn't all that great because if I look at a bright surface like a lamp or I look at the ground, it's not all that visible if I'm also gonna look around real quick. So you can actually change the color and the size of it. The size is just preference. It can be super tiny, or it can of course be super big. Here we go, super big. There, so now you can see it really well. And that is up to personal preference. Some people don't like having a big old crosshair. I kinda do, so I'm gonna put it to be a little bit bigger than normal. And then you choose the color of the crosshair. Now this color picker works as in you have red and then you toggle how much red do you want, so it's maxed, how much green and how much blue do you want, and all this, when you max them out it turns white. If you were to remove them all it would turn black, like this, but that is extremely hard to see against pretty much anything. So what we want to pick is a color that we can see well, like green. As you can tell, nothing in this game really is green. There are a few maps or something like this tinted window that is a little bit green. And some maps have grass on them, which means that they are green as well, but this is a very good color to pick. Another very good color to pick is pink, which is not seen anywhere. So pink I believe is green and blue. Nope, that is cyan. I believe it is then blue and red. There we go, that is pink. Pink is very visible, maybe not against red people up close, but at this range you would be able to like hit them no matter what either way, pretty much. So I would recommend either pink or green as good options, but also look around for a color that you like. Yellow is also pretty hard to see, or pretty hard to find in the game rather. which is, I believe, red or green. Red and green together, yeah. This is also a pretty hard color to find in the game. So as long as you have like a bright color that you can see well against many surfaces, use that as your crosshair. And if you don't like this crosshair, just switch it out. You can actually switch it out by going here, where it says default, and then you have a bunch of options. You can have no crosshair if you wanna for some reason, then it just turns into this like generic that switches with the weapon you have. Here's the one I like. This one I like a lot, and I'm gonna keep it yellow because it's a decently nice color to look at. So with that done, that is our basic options done, and now we can move into advanced options, which are more game specific. So the first thing we want to do is make sure automatic reload is enabled. This is a yes option. So with automatic reload you will be able to see that if I fire a shot here, my guy automatically reloads the shot. I don't have to press anything for it to happen, and even if I fire all my shots, he will start reloading, and while reloading I can shoot more. So I could have been in a fight, I'm just gonna restock right here. So I could have been in a fight and shot all my 4 shots, and then I reload and some new guy shows up and I can just turn to him and shoot without having a full clip. Having automatic reload is just an incredibly good option to have. If you're used to other shooters where you reload a lot, it might be a bit strange, but there's nothing bad about having this on, so keep that on. The other option we want to have is fast weapon switch, and I will show you. So normally when you switch weapons from the beginning, you get this little menu when you scroll up or down to select your weapon, or if you press 1, 2, 3 on your keyboard, you can actually switch weapons. Every character has a primary weapon, which is their number 1, a secondary weapon, number 2, and a melee weapon, number 3. And these weapons are toggled between with either the keyboard or the mouse wheel, but it's kind of slow to do like this. So if you enable fast weapon switch, you will just switch like this, which is much better, because if someone shows up and let's say you are out of ammo and you have like no reserve, and someone shows up and you just whip out your shotgun and then you can kill them that way, which is much nicer than having to select the shotgun, then equip the shotgun and then shoot. It gives you way better reaction times to just whip out new weapons like this. Next up, play a hit sound every time you injure an enemy, and together with that, play a last hit sound when your attacks kill an enemy. These are very good to have because, as you can hear now, if I shoot someone, I hear a little ding. And a darker ding for when they actually die. So I'll be quiet for this one and just hit this soldier and you can hear it. And what this is good for is that you can confirm that you got a kill or that you hurt someone even though you might not really be looking. So if you're just running into an area and you shoot like this, you can hear that you hit people, meaning that if you were to shoot, say there is a guy here, like behind this corner, there isn't now, but imagine there is, I could shoot here and I can confirm if there is a guy behind the corner or not, because rockets explode, and if there was a guy I would hear a ding, but since there isn't a ding, I know there's not a guy here, so I can walk normally. Now I know there's a guy behind there, and I know that he died now too. So having those sounds on are pretty nice. So if these get a little bit annoying to listen to, you can change the volume of them up or down, and if you want to change the sound to, like, say electro, there are a bunch of different hit sounds in the game, so just check around those. I like the default bell, so I'll be using that. Next up, we will be doing display damage done as text over your target and accumulate combat text. So when I hit someone with this shovel now, I'll see that I did 65 damage every time. That's a nice bit of damage right there, and I can tell how much I did. What's nice about that is that since every class has a fixed amount of health, so like this demo man here, he has 175 health. So if I shoot him with this shotgun, he took 89, so around 90. I know he has just under 100 health left. If I shoot the scout, he was already low, so that doesn't count. The soldier then, 89. Alright, so he has 200 health normally, he should be at 110. He should be at around 20 now, so even if I stand far back, he dies. So you can do a little bit of math and figure out how much health someone has. And for the soldier, which I'm playing now, a rocket deals around 100 damage, a shotgun deals around 50 damage, or up close it deals 90. And a melee hit always deals 65, as you can tell. And you saw that I got 130 there, that's what the batching is. So batching is extra good for characters like the Pyro, which I changed to now. He has this flamethrower which deals a lot of small hits, so I'll just refresh my ammo. And if I shoot this soldier here, it adds up all the hits, and when he takes fire afterwards, it adds too. If I were to remove damage batching, as this is called, when it adds up the numbers, it's called batching. So if I remove it, that is kind of difficult to read how much damage I did there. It's of course easy to see when they die, but if I just do this, I'll know that he took around 80 damage, or 100 damage, or even 120. And he's taking quite a bit of damage right there. Now I know he's taking 140, he would die like that. So damage batching is very good if you play Pyro and Heavy especially, but it's good for every class I feel, so just slap that on there. So the next thing we might want to change is that since the game is divided up into a lot of red and blue colors, when we shoot someone, having a red color show up isn't super optimal, and we can actually change that to be, we can just pick a color again. So normally it's red. The most common one I've seen by far is yellow, because yellow again is visible to anything. It is very easy to see. It took 82, 73, 48, 8, 47. I would recommend switching your damage numbers to be yellow by enabling full red and full green. Next option we want to look at is view model field of view, which is down here. So it's view model field of view. Now you might have noticed that our weapons are very big and they cover up a lot of the screen, and we can actually make them a lot smaller. So going into advanced, we scroll down a bit. You see, here it is. And normally it's 54 and then 70. And now we can see a lot more because we made the model smaller. So what we did earlier in the video when I set my field of view from 75 to 90 is also related to this. It's that the field of view is how much of a thing you see. So when we increase the size of how much we see of the weapons, they become smaller, which is a bit strange when you think about it, but that's just how it works in the game. So if we set it to 90 FOV and 75 weapon FOV, we can actually see pretty decently now. And there is even a way to make it even smaller if you would like to, which is all the way down here in the bottom, around here, not there, here. Use minimized view models. So this is how small you can make weapons in the game. Now they're really tucked away. Some people don't like how silly and kind of dumb it looks that you have them basically under your armpit. But I really love it, and I will be keeping this for the rest of the series. So as we're about to wrap up here with the options, there are a few things I want to just point out. Disable weather effects is something you might want to look into. I like to have weather effects off, because on some maps with rain or lightning, they can get kind of distracting, and I like to turn those off. Another thing is that some people don't like the team status display, so that thing up top of the screen where it shows all the characters and who has died or not, you can see that the people on the blue side got grayed out there as they died, and they will come back when they respawn. There you go, now they're all back. So that one shows who's dead or not, but some people don't care for it, or they think it's just kind of annoying. You can actually remove that by clicking use the team status display in the HUD. If you take away that, it's just gone, and it just shows the time up there, which is, you know, kind of nice if you like that more. I prefer to have it on, so I'm gonna have it on. So that is the basic options of the game, and you can make your game run much more nicer, or well, play a lot nicer, because you don't have to have a weapon shoved in your face, and you can see more, and you can know how much damage you deal, and you know when you deal damage to people. So that will do it for this video. In the next video I will be going over the basics of how the game works, as in what you're supposed to do in the game with capturing points, shooting enemies, and just very basic stuff about health packs, about ammo, that kind of stuff. So I hope you will join me for that one. This has been the options video. Please share this with anyone who is new to TF2 if they need some help. And I also recommend that you check around the options menu yourself. There are a lot of options that I skipped that you might think are absolutely fantastic that I don't even think about. So please mess around in the options menu yourself. And with that, I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.